Keith, respectfully, how sustainable is the move in commodities without real global demand? Is it just a fund flow into a sector with hopes of sustainable inflation returning? Lastly, why is dollar debasement any different than what every major central bank is doing?
Well, there are two big questions there. First, on dollar debasement, it's not a Swedish debasement and it's not a Norwegian debasement this morning. Their currencies are going up. Okay, so in the last month alone, again, if you're doing your math, the euro's up almost 2%. So again, their debasement is when the thing goes down. We are being a larger debaser than they are, both fiscally and monetarily. We'll get you the slides on that in the deck. I reviewed them last week. So again, it's a review of the same answers to the same question. But the other part of the question, which was the first part, was on the
commodities and how sustainable is it without real demand?
It is sustainable because in your head you're thinking demand. It's got to be demand. It's got to be demand. Well, what are people demanding at home? I mean, orange juice, we were on that very early back in April when I saw it breaking out on my signal. Again, why were people demanding orange juice? Well, because people were concerned about the health of their children. And instead of having like a fridge that has like kiwi water or something in there, or whatever else is in there, they bought a bunch of orange juice. So it's not just, you can't just label like lumber. I mean, we have a boomlet in housing. So lumber prices are going up because of demand. Again, I don't start with demand. You can go back to 2011. Again, if you studied this, you obviously know it, and I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence. But again, the dollar went to a 40-year low, and commodities went to an all-time high on decelerating demand. Like, again, GDP was slowing in 2011 at that point. So again, it's more about the dollar debasement story. The dollar debasement story is much more powerful than anything that any other country, think of how sad that is, including Japan or anything European. The U.S. is much more politically ideological about this and willing to quite literally burn the currency of their people at the stake, at the point that they're at their weakest point from a purchasing power perspective. If you don't like how that sounds, too bad.
Yeah, I think the other point on dollar debasement is what we have coming down the pike versus what other countries. We talked about it on the call this morning, but we're going to probably have another round of checks being sent to people, printing money, probably some serious fiscal stimulus. So, a lot of things that are happening that are negative for the dollar.
Look at slide 67. This is what, and again, think about what I just said too in the singularity of it all this morning. I said the country is slowing in July despite these kinds of benefits. This is showing you personal income via social benefits. So never in the history of America has anything remotely close to that happened. And moreover, it hasn't happened in any other country at that rate of change. So the concept that other countries are doing what we're doing is really a bullshit concept in your head. I mean, it's not supported by the rate of change of what we've been doing. Now, this is going to be a real interesting thing for us to try to keep our heads wrapped around as we go further out in time. I'm just trying to find a couple more slides. If Darius was in here, he'd know exactly what slide I was looking at. Slide 96. Look at this. So this is like look at the dollar. Like this is the long time. Me no love you long time chart of the dollar. All right. It's not always what it was from when we were bullish on the dollar from the middle of 2018. So can I draw on this, guys? So again, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a bull market in the dollar. This is up to here, peaked right there, right when the U.S. growth mania and bubble did, right in here. Okay, see that? That was the last time anybody wanted to buy commodities or emerging markets. And then all of a sudden the dollar, what did it do? It went straight down to this point here, all the way down, right? So now what? By the time you got to in here, you had a commodity bubble, okay? In dollars. It's over 85% of daily trading in commodities broadly settle in U.S. dollars. So it's just a factual depiction of the commodity market and why both commodities and emerging market countries that really are highly dependent from a GDP perspective on commodities, quite like a dollar debasement as well.